Right at the outset, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild gives you a handful of tools before setting you loose in a vast, gorgeous, and open-ended adventure of survival. After completing the story 50 hours later, I've still got plenty of mysteries to track down and lots of wonderfully crafted puzzles to solve. I'm in awe. The wide-open world of Hyrule is the main character in Breath of the Wild. Not only is it vast and beautiful, but it runs by surprisingly realistic rules. Trees bear fruit, grassy fields can be set ablaze, and even enemies and animals behave in a believable manner. If you think something should work, it usually does, and that led me to all kinds of fun and hilarious experimentation. There's not a lot of crafting, but I spent many hours figuring out the best ways to cook stat-boosting meals. Every piece of this sandbox feels meticulously thought out, bold, and ambitious. But what elevates Breath of the Wild above its open-world contemporaries is its sheer freedom, both in its non-linear questing structure and in your ability to climb almost any surface and travel in any direction. If you can see it, chances are you can reach it, and figuring out how to get there is often a satisfying puzzle in itself. The fun doesn't stop when you reach the top of these marvelous vistas either, because you can paraglide back into the world below. And as you improve Link's skills, you can reach even more of these incredibly varied locations. But the world is always more powerful, and events like rain and thunderstorms are a reminder that you are still at the mercy of the elements. On the flip side, Breath of the Wild's skillful combat is as approachable as it is deep. Link can work over his foes using swords, spears, and axes he finds in the dangerous world. They'll wear down and eventually break, which fits perfectly with the survival angle. And no matter how prepared you think you are, you can still run into enemies that can slay you in one hit. My favorite bosses are grueling gauntlets that involve using your Sheikah Slate, a powerful tool that gives you abilities like picking up metal objects or creating bombs. Yet there are still pockets of serenity and beauty spread throughout the gorgeous landscape. In these moments, subtle music cues match the tempo of my adventure, swaying between playful piano melodies and ambient sounds of wildlife. Breath of the Wild's anime-inspired art style is colorful and remarkably lively, and the brief frame rate hiccups and pop-in that show up from time to time never significantly soured my gameplay. The main quest puts Link on a journey to reclaim his memories of Princess Zelda after an apocalyptic event left Hyrule in ruins. It took me roughly 40 hours to slay the final boss and piece together what happened 100 years ago. While most Zelda games are rooted in heavy tradition, this coming-of-age story is anything but, and has plenty of charming characters and surprises to reveal. It's amazing that it works so well while letting you tackle its dungeons in any order you want. Hundreds of NPC-driven side quests and puzzle shrines pepper the landscape, and there's even more to discover hidden behind vague clues. The fetch questy ones aren't as interesting as the bona fide rabbit holes of The Witcher 3, but they still introduce you to interesting characters that dole out helpful info, meals, and materials. Puzzle shrines offer their own useful rewards in the form of materials and handy weapon upgrades. These shrines involve a short, inventive puzzle room where you're presented with a few clues and have to experiment in order to solve them, except for a handful which use motion control puzzles that don't quite feel sharp enough. Still, the techniques you learn become essential training for Breath of the Wild's excellent dungeons. These daunting and massive logic puzzles demand you look at all the moving pieces in order to solve them, and they all fit together in a neatly satisfying way. But there are even more cryptic challenges hidden throughout Hyrule. I estimate it would take over 100 hours to solve every side quest, puzzle, and collectible. It is truly a massive game to tackle. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a masterclass in open-world design, and a watershed game that reinvents a 30-year-old franchise. It presents a wonderful sandbox of mystery, dangling dozens upon dozens of tantalizing things in front of you, just begging to be explored. I spent more than 50 hours searching the far reaches of Hyrule, and I still managed to come across things I haven't seen before. I'll easily spend 50 more tracking down its fascinating moments. For more on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, check out 10 new things we found in Hyrule, our Breath of the Wild amiibo unboxing video, and watch the first 15 minutes after you leave the Great Plateau, right here at IGN.